Let me introduce Ms. Alien Magalong, who is the Assistant Chief Education Program Specialist from the Office of Program and Standards Development of the Commission on Higher Education, or popularly known as CHED. Ms. Magalong will discuss the policies, programs, and initiatives for higher education. And Ms. Magalong has been working at the Commission on Higher Education for 18 years already, since 2001. And the mandate of her office includes tasks related to formulation of academic policies, standards and guidelines for the various higher education programs, conduct of monitoring and evaluation, implementation of development programs and projects, including centers of excellence and centers of development project. Ms. Aline, please stand up to be recognized.
All right. It's so challenging to speak after a very overwhelming presentation from the industry representatives. I'm torn between cutting my presentation short or giving some details about the policies of the Commission. But I'm really happy. A pleasant good afternoon again to everyone, and I'm happy to inform all of you that with me are the two technical committee members of the CHED Technical Committee for Tourism and Hotel Management, Hospitality Management, to assist later on for the questions that you might have. All right. So on behalf of the Commission on Higher Education, Office of Programs and Standards Development, we are from the Standards Development Division. We are here to present to you the CHED policies, programs, and some initiatives on tourism and hospitality management programs. This is just a short presentation, but we'll try to give an overview of the higher education landscape, the significant education reforms which brought about the revision of the curriculum for the higher education, and of course, some details about the PSG for BSHM and BSTM, and how we can move forward to enhance tourism education in Philippine higher education. As a landscape, currently, we have 1,963 higher education institutions, including those of the Bangsamoro the BARM region, which is the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao. If you will notice, we have a fair share of the public and private higher education institutions. 53% are enrolled in private HEIs, and 47% are enrolled in our state universities and colleges and our local universities. So currently, we have 3.2 million college students. This was previously 3.5, but because of the senior high, there have been cohorts wherein we have no college takers. So right now, it is at 3.2 million. And if you will notice, the business and related share 26% of this enrollment, and about 30% of that is from the tourism and hospitality management industry. So just to show that, sorry, hindi po nakita yung darkness ng tourism HEIs, but that's about in total 445 HEIs offering tourism programs and 943 offering hospitality management programs. And the shown is the distribution between the public and the private HEIs. In terms of enrollment and graduates for the tourism program, this is the statistics. What we have right now is about 70,000, less than 70,000 enrollment for tourism, and we graduate about 11,000 for the tourism. Now for hospitality, it has a bigger share, a bigger number. So at 184, so that's about 180,000 students enrolled, and we graduate 33,000 to serve the industry of hospitality management. As a development initiatives, the Commission on Higher Education identifies CHED Centers of Excellence and Centers of Development. For all degree programs, we have about 432 COEs and CODs in the different disciplines. For tourism, we only share three COEs and one COD in the Visayas, and 5 Centers of Excellence for Hospitality Management, and 1 Center of Development. Now we pose this as a challenge because there is dearth of tourism and hospitality programs identified as COEs and CODs. Hopefully in the near future, we can have more so that we can have more hubs to lead, to be at the frontier of tourism and hospitality management, education in the Philippines. Significant reforms. Let me go now to the topic. Why we have reform. In 2017, CHED issued CHED Memorandum Order 62 Series of 2017, and this is the policies and standards for tourism and hospitality management. Our very dedicated technical committee members have labored intensely to consult higher education institutions, the industry, and other stakeholders while crafting these policies. Firstly, the PSGs were aligned towards a K-12 basic education curriculum. Some of the GE subjects were downloaded to senior high, hence the need to revise the GE for tertiary. As a response, this GE actually responds to the challenges of 21st century needs in terms of soft skills, leadership, and communication skills. And the next is the institutionalization of the Philippine Qualifications Framework. And it's referencing to the ASEAN, National Reference Framework. This is where the 10 member states of the ASEAN actually looked at how we can be able to have a shared understanding of each other's education system. Just to inform everyone that in May 2019, the Philippine referencing was accepted by the ASEAN together with the Malaysian and all the other ASEAN countries are still in the process. But this doesn't mean an automatic recognition of qualifications. This only means that they get to understand the Philippine education system. And we have a lot of work to do after that to be able to justify and present what is the level of quality assurance for our higher education programs. The next is the paradigm shift to outcomes-based education, focusing on learner-centered approach rather than the teacher-centered approach. The OBE is an approach that focuses and organizes the educational system around what is essential for all learners to know, value, and be able to do to achieve a desired level of competency. So it's basically opening the curricula to incorporating discipline-based learning areas. And for HEIs, it means describing the attributes of their ideal graduates based on their vision and mission as part of their institutional goals or outcomes, and using this as a basis for developing the specific program outcomes for each of the programs in their institution. And of course, global comparability. Global comparability and program excellence, there is a need to respond to the challenges of the ASEAN integration, the mobility of labor and students, of workers and professionals. This would mean strengthening our internal quality assurance mechanisms in the institution to be able to build the trust and confidence in the qualifications of our graduates and thus facilitating the recognition of their qualifications wherever they go. I will not go through the details of the industry sector. Ma'am Eileen has already presented a lot, and we all had felt the need to really innovate our programs. Considerations, these are some of the considerations when our technical committee developed the PSG for the tourism and hospitality management. The CMO, it can be downloaded from the CHED website. If it is not available, you can just email the CHED, info@ched.gov.ph, to be able to get a copy of these policies and standards. But just to say, as I've mentioned, that this policy actually is an innovation from the 2006 CMO that we have. And don't look for fruits this time, because sabi nga ni Ma'am Eileen, we'll get that fruit after the graduates of that curriculum has been set. This is the contents of the PSGs of the CHED. You can read through all of this in the CMO. And the basic principles when we were restructuring the curriculum, we have considered the exercise of academic freedom of the institutions, but however, there's a need for them to comply with the minimum requirements set by the government in terms of academic programs. However, the HEIs are allowed to design their curricula suited to their own context and missions and determine the appropriate means of delivery, the required support facilities, and educational resources and human resource requirements to ensure the achievement of the set program outcomes. CHED has even prepared a handbook for this. Okay, program outcomes. This is one of the most important and innovation of the new curriculum, such that this program outcomes is actually a contract between the student and the HEI. Program outcomes are the set of knowledge, values, and skills that all of you students, as learners, are expected to demonstrate to a certain level of performance at the time of graduation. So you have to be aware of these things because this is what you need to develop within yourselves. And this is where lifelong learning comes in. Maybe it's a technical term for the education industry, but that is what Tim was actually saying. We don't stop learning because it's a continuous process, and lifelong learning should be instilled in every individual, and it's a challenge for all those who have graduated, who are still students, to innovate yourselves, be hungry for new skills, so that even if the trends come up, even if new trends are there, you would be ready for it. So these external changes in turn impose new demands in higher learning. So CHED has exerted to identify the minimum program outcomes for each of the programs, especially for tourism and hospitality management. This is at the level of the business management as a discipline, and then common to tourism and hospitality, and then it differentiates into the tourism major and the hospitality major. So I'll just run through this. I'll not read everything. It's just a checklist of competencies. There. You can look at these things in the policies of CHED. Okay. So basically, performance indicators are just the nitty-gritty of the program outcomes that the departments have set for the program and for the students. Now, konting research lang po to, but I don't know, I think it just matches. So this is Kony, Bolt, and then also Airstar from Korea. So they just launched this in July 2018. So how then do we translate these program outcomes to respond to the needs of the sector? These things you know better than me. I'm not into tourism, but at least those are the next trends that we see. Okay. How then do we translate the program outcomes? As I've mentioned, the CHED has given a well-designed and flexible curriculum to integrate dynamic changes and strategic development in the tourism and hospitality management through its GE course, its management courses as foundation, the common courses, the common core for tourism, and the professional and technical courses. Plus, there is now longer practicum or training so that we can develop further the skills for our students. And more importantly, in the development of the curriculum, the HEI should be grounded on existing internal and external environment in terms of institutional capability, regional strength, adaptability to cultural communities, responsiveness to industry requirements, but of course, conscious on ecological sustainability. These things po is at the call of the higher education institutions. The CHED has set the minimum, but the innovation will be coming from the higher education institutions. And looking at the structure of the curriculum, there's a portion there on professional electives. That's 15 units. So you can add flavor. The minimum standards has set a menu, but it's not exhaustive. So it is not also limiting. So it depends on how dynamic these tourism departments and hospitality management departments are, on how you would be able to look at what you have in your regions in your institutions, in your communities, to be able to design a more responsive and relevant program for the tourism sector. Okay? So this is just some notes on specialization. You might not have a branding for the major, but with the 15 units of professional, as I've seen, you can still set a more cohesive set of courses for the 15 units. And to note again, this is the minimum standards. So you can still add more courses, essential courses that you might deem is necessary. More importantly, this is my assignment from my boss. Okay. Developing tourism education. This is now one of the priorities of the Commission in partnership with the Department of Tourism. So we have to identify areas for intervention to support our HEIs, our students, and of course to partner with the government agencies related to tourism, with the industry and the academe, so that we can be able to craft what really is your need, how can we help, and how can we partner. Sabi nga po ni Ms. Eileen, this is the time now to gather ourselves together. It's a tripartite effort to move us all forward. So if you'd have, this is crowdsourcing. Okay. So please email your thoughts, whatever your thoughts are, your wishes for the tourism education, to opsd@ched.gov.ph, and we'd be happy and gladly solicit those and compile those, and then this will be looked at by our technical committee together with other government agencies and the industry sector. So as advance announcement, this is just how the technical committee has looked at how we can plan on how to gather and request your participation in future activities of CHED. We'll be looking at capacity building, PSG development, most especially for the guidelines on internship of students, both locally and internationally, and this is on the content part, not on the procedural part. Plus, of course, the National Summit on Tourism Education. This is set in November. Hopefully, everyone, not everyone, but at least you can give in your inputs before the summit, because the summit will be the culminating activity for this year. So we can lay out the plans for bigger and significant allocation of the government for the tourism education. And as I've mentioned, the government industry academic consultation. And this will be zonal, and maybe some of you will be invited to attend this consultation. And thank you. Together we encourage you all as our stakeholders to join CHED in leading innovation in your curricula so that we can be able to create opportunities for our students and other people, and we can be able to transform the lives of every Juan and Juana. Maraming salamat po.